Agath, and thank you, Laska Hirlach. Minister, I welcome you here to the Shannon today, and I really want to acknowledge Senator Sean Kine here in his motion, and particularly as a senator as well from the west of Ireland. In 2022, we went to a presentation, Professor Michael Kearns and Professor Macon Keane, consultants who took time out of an unbelievably precious schedule to come to us, to come to Buswells, to give a presentation. One of the key points that Senator Coyne has raised here is around a cancer centre in the west of Ireland. Now, as a senator that represents Roscommon and Galway, Minister, we stand before you here to say there are worse outcomes than if you live in the east, worse outcomes than if you live in the south. They are the worst. And there is a cancer centre plan that they've been looking for the last, I don't know how many years, and a cancer centre for the west of Ireland that's been looked for since, well, 2022 they were looking for it. And Minister, the investment that we need to see has to be balanced across the country. We talk about balanced regional investment and it spins off our lips so easily, and we talk about these things when it comes to schools and school transport and buildings, all of these crucial things we need. But the health of people's lives, survival rates, that's what we're talking about here, Minister. It is something that for me, for a long time, has been a challenge when we look at investment across health services. And when you say to people that from the west of Ireland, if you live in the west, that the chances are potentially survival rates are not as good. I know Professor Macon Keane, and I know Professor Kearns, and I know their teams because I've had many family members that have gone through cancer treatment and, thank God, receive excellent treatment at their hands. But they are struggling if they're not able to access the same level of supports and services in the West as they can in the rest of the country. Minister, I look to you and I look to the government to see what we can do here. One of the other points that Senator Coyne has raised in his motion is around the National Cancer Strategy as well, and the supports that have been offered by different community cancer centres across the West. And I'm speaking only from the area that I know. And I know that we have cancer support services that try and bring people to get their chemo treatment. I deal in my office in Ballinasloe and in Roscommon with people who cannot get to the hospital because there aren't the bus services or the train services. And you'll say to me, now, Senator, this is not obviously under my bailiwick. But what I want to see here is integrated supports so that when we are delivering services in terms of accessing our hospitals, that the HSE and the Department of Health are working with the Department of Transport to say, yes, that local link bus service should connect to Portiuncula University Hospital. There should be more services that bring it to Roscommon University Hospital. And at the moment, you know, there aren't as many as we would like to see. And that is all part of people actually being able to access the service, been able to get into Galway, been able to get to Roscommon, been able to get to Portiuncula, Letterkenny, Castlebar, all of these areas that cover the north and the west, the northwest and the west. Minister, I'm here standing in support of Senator Coyne. I want to thank him and our colleagues within Fine Gael and government partners, everyone here that has spoken, everyone here that has experiences in their own life of dealing with this. But I want to say, Minister, that we need to fight for balanced investment. And I'm not saying this as something simple here, that we need to see that service and we need to fight for that across all the regions. Gurmagath.